Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Edwin Haynes here in Houston, Texas. I want to welcome you all on to this webinar here. I know it's a short notice for all of us to be on this call today or conference today. As we know, we are still moving. You know, sometimes I look at things that's, hey, Ronell, good evening to you. I know sometimes there's times that you have to give up some things in order to make it happen. So I'm going to first of all start off by definitely saying Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers again out there. I know I sent that message out earlier as we have been working throughout the week, making sure we get your company in the best shape possible and keep it in the best shape possible. We've done extremely well, but definitely still had to work myself on Mother's Day. So I kind of doing, and I was in between Mother's Day and my youngest graduating from college today, even though they had to move the date because of the weather until Monday. So at the same time, we still have a fiduciary duty to many thousands of people who've joined this company. And so I'll get a chance to celebrate that stuff in full swing at the right time. But right now I'm going to be celebrating your success by contributing to this incredible opportunity and making sure that we do what we need to do. So hopefully you enjoyed your day today. I know it's not completely over. We're still a rock in the house. We got a call coming up with Peter Hurst that's coming up in just a little while. And I appreciate Peter for all that he's doing. And I see so many people saying Happy Mother's Day and hello, Edwin. Hello to you all. You know what? It says a lot for you all to take out your time because I know we have many people that could be doing many other things, but we all think the same way. There's nothing right now more important than us creating financial security for our families. And then we can have the best Mother Days and any other holiday. Every day is going to be like a holiday as we go and get these things put into place. So without belaboring the point and being too long and redundant on the information, I talked to our corporate executives and Mr. Buggs. Mark Kipcart has been there helping tremendously. I know he's on the call. Hats off to Mark Kipcart. I called him at the last minute. He said, I got your back. And our VP of marketing is incredible. He and his staff. And then, of course, what we could say about T. Gray as well. He been there, and I know he and Trina, and Happy Mother's Day to Trina as well. Those guys are out there celebrating and made sure that we had what we need. And of course, you all have seen Mr. Buggs over in Puerto Rico. He's on his way back, but they rocked the house in Puerto Rico as well. He and Mrs. Buggs had Miss Buggs had a women's event today, and so a lot of still great activity that's going on. And then many of us are getting ready to head off to Mexico next week. So much stuff to announce. I wish I can get into all of that stuff. Hi from Orlando, hi from Nashville. Definitely make sure your people on this call. I'm going to be brief. I'm going to be as brief as possible. I need you all. I'm considering this my board of directors. Some of y'all know I talk and got a hard voice and I'm a little tough. But at the same time, I'm doing it all in love, because I want to make sure that you guys win. That's my role here. I'm not trying to be anybody else. I'm not trying to be anything fancy here. My goal is to get the job done. My mindset is we have a $50 billion company to build, and I can't rest until the job is done. And David Manning, who's made his commitment, Peter has made his commitment, and of course, the Buggs family that made their commitment. So the Haynes family, you can count our names throw our names into the hat, to make that happen and come to fruition for many of you all here. So here's what I want. This is what I need my board of directors is I'm talking to you all as leaders and future leaders and current leaders of this company, as we're now going to grow, pushing to grow a $50 billion company, but it starts with getting to the first 100 million first. And I can tell you, you probably have heard, we already have put a plan together to get to $100 million in the next 12 months. It's clear as day. You're going to hear more about it. We have 4 dates that are going to be coming up. Get ready for us to go to Atlanta, Georgia in June, Baltimore in June. We'll do an event in Houston, Texas, as well as in California, I believe in the LA area. And so what I want you all to do is just kind of get your mind ready and geared for this, because what you do, it counts. Right now it's like rowing a boat, if you will. If you had to row a boat, I know it may be old school because we have motors or whatever, but however you want to take it, the analogy is we need all hands on deck. We need all hands on deck. We are about to make history with the company that I'm going to call, that really truly is going to be the most admired company that you can ever put your hands on. And it's all going to be because of you. It's all because of you taking ownership, taking leadership of your division. Whenever your TSA number starts and the group that you're responsible for, that's your division. It's like divisions of major corporations around the world. You have a division. Whatever city you're in, that's your division. Whatever state you're in, that's your division. Whatever province or country you're in, that's your division. And I need you to take complete ownership of your division as we go out here and make history together. And I'm telling you, I know for a fact it is done. It is done. We have the plan in place. Now, with that said, we are in the process, as you know, putting the binary compensation plan together. So those of you who are new, I'm not going to go back and do all of the training and things of that nature, but make sure you get with your sponsor or your upline that you plugged into, your plugged in upline, somebody who's actually plugging into the system. There is a system. System stands for save yourself time, energy, and money. There is a system to what we're doing here. And so I want you to learn the system and be a part of the system. So in other words, we started out on our uni-level fast start plan, our fast start uni-level plan. So we begun with that in our company, did extremely well. That thing rocked out, and we knew that it would be just the right spark that we needed to get the company off to a great start. Did very well with that. But we knew in the process of developing the new back office that we would go into a compensation structure called a binary two-team binary hybrid system, which means it has a binary on the front end and a uni-level on the back end that covers all of your residual. I did a training on that. You can always go back and refer to the training, but go back to that training that we have. And if you ever want to find any of our archived calls, as well as keep up with the updated schedule, you would need to go to our ibüümerang Facebook page. So make sure you take some time and go through the ibüümerang Facebook page and see all of the previously recorded trainings, as well as any of our previously recorded opportunity calls, as well as the one that's going to happen in about 50 minutes here, right after this call with Mr. Peter Hurst. So, and many other calls. So we have it in multiple languages. So make sure you're plugged in there. I'm kind of throwing in a few nuggets as we go, because I want to make sure you all get what we need and be prepared so you can disseminate this information down through your team. We need to make sure that you are on top of your game and know exactly what's going on. Now, as we are transitioning to the binary, it is very important for us now to do our part as leaders. Most of your leaders are already in the system, but your teams are not in the system. So, and I said we had to put 24, hats off to you. We had to put 24,000 people into the system, 24,000 people that we've been recruiting, that you guys have done so well and put together in a team. So 24,000 plus people are going into the system. We're over now, well over 3/4 of the way done. But there are several thousand people that still need to be placed into the binary. So what I need you all to do is a couple of things here. You're right, 24, Mr. Bruce Bailey, 24,000. We have 35 active customers. 35. I want to tell you how great you all are doing. This is 2 months. We have close to 35 active customers, and we're putting on about 1,000 customers per day. You guys are, I'm telling you, they can call what they want to say about what you're doing right now, because many people don't understand this anyway, and they're not supposed to understand the high level that we are. We're in a whole nother stratosphere where they are. They're duplicating the surface stuff. They don't understand what we have behind what we're doing. So I'm telling you right now, it's historic what we're doing right now in this company. We will have 5 million customers in our company by the end of this year. We will have 5 million customers by the end of this year in our company. And so I'm telling you, things are happening right now. So what I need you to do, I need you to help me. As I have always taught in my group, I've built hundreds of thousands of people in my organization, and we've grown organizations before. This is We know where we're going. We know we're going to even do bigger and better, and you are a part of the history that's taking place. But we have always drawn out our groups, especially how it was, whether it's binary on the unit level or whatever, but this is a binary here. So what you need to do, if you don't have your binary drawn out, meaning that you know you one position and then you have two other positions below and then everybody else falls below those positions, you need to make sure that you know who's on your left and who's on your right. I normally put my leadership people there. I can't draw the entire group, of course, but I know the points that I can highlight on my binary. Well, with me doing that, now it gives me some type of structure so that I can talk and communicate with the other leaders so they know their structure, and then they can go through their group and their leaders can know their structures, and so on and so forth. Everyone should have a plan to structure their unit level. They should have had it last week. I have been doing all kind of calls. The leadership has been doing different calls. We've been saying the binaries come and get prepared so you know exactly where you're going to go. And I need leaders to pay attention here, because leaders don't make mistakes like this. And I'm not saying that this happens here, but if you always should inspect what you expect. You always should inspect what you expect. I'm not saying micromanage people, but this is a critical time, because where people are being placed is very critical as to how you're going to build your business, even though you're going to be bringing new people in. But I need you to go through and make sure that your teams have done everything they could to make sure that they know the structure that they're going to be building, starting from their TSA number down. And then they need to make sure they teach the people that they have in their organization to do the same. So inspect what you expect, number one. The other part is this. You now have the ability to have what we call a placement lounge. So two things: at the back dashboard in the back office, on the right-hand side of your dashboard, it should say placement lounge. In order to see your team, your dual team, go into reports. I need you to go into reports. And at the bottom of and when you scroll down at the bottom of the list on reports, you should see dual team or binary viewer, And that way you can kind of click there and see what your binary viewer is. If you have not been placed into the binary, you won't be able to place your people yet. So your upline has to place you. If you haven't been placed into the binary, your upline will have to place you into the binary. And once that's done, then you should go and use the structure that you all have put together, left and right. You know exactly who you sponsor and who's supposed to go on to the left and to the right. And I want you to take your time. There are all kinds of warnings. There are all kinds of videos, and I'm giving it to you again. So what I want you to do, if you haven't placed your people, or your people hadn't placed your people, you're going to help them do so, because we need to complete the binary, because we have to get you paid. Three things are my top priority is my being the leader of the organization. And this is what I fight for you on here in the company. I have both duties on both sides, but three things are very important. I talked to Mr. Buggs about this. My top priority, of course, is to be able to take payment so that you can sponsor your people and we can get people started and we can keep things going, because you have to be able to accept payment, okay? Number two, we have to be able to pay people. Our goal is to make sure that we pay people on time or early. That's my goal. So I know there's some things that we have to work with on corporate on that side, and the guys are doing what they have to do to make sure that those things go right. But for me, I am on their backsides to make sure that we fight, because our biggest thing is what gets rewarded gets repeated, and I'm going to do what we can. And I know in the beginning there were some challenges, but everything's beginning to ease up again, and that's because you all have been patient and you understand that what comes with a ground floor opportunity, there are ground floor challenges that we have. And so I hats off again to many of you all, because some people could be out of line, but your dreams are bigger than the obstacles, and I appreciate that. I love working with people that have dreams that are bigger than their obstacles. And so we're gonna push past this, and all of us will be on the beaches somewhere and laugh. And you remember when we had this challenge, and remember when that took place. We'll be past that. We'll be talking about, you remember when we had to call to do our first binary call. This is gonna be history that we're having right now. So go in to your placement lounge. if you haven't done so, and your people haven't done so, click on the person that you want to place. It's a little button, a little tick off the side on the left side of their name. Go back to the top. It has left, right. Normally it's defaulted to right. So be careful. If you want a person to go to the left side, that top side should say left. If you want them to go to the right, it should say right. Be very careful, because we don't want to be replacing, because we can't do that. You mess up the coding of the system if you're trying to do replacing stuff. That's why we say it's permanent, because that is a challenge and is holding up your money. So I'm fighting for you, but I need you to work with me on this one, right? So now, once you hit left or right, as you have chosen already on your list before you even decide to click anyone's name, then what I want you to do is hit place selected. It's the button up right to the top, right below the left or right. Once you choose that, place selected, and it's now going to take you to a window that says this is a permanent position, and it gives you the option to review. Make sure that you see the left that's still there. If you're okay with it, then hit okay, or whatever, left or right, whatever you choose. Once you made sure that you verified that and you're taking your time, hit okay, and it's going to automatically place that person for you. It takes seconds to do this. And then you go to the next person and you click the next person, whether the left or right, and so on and so forth. So you're going to coordinate with your upline to do this. We have to get this done like yesterday. Now, we had many people that called and said, my goodness, I didn't know, my back office was just turned on, or whatever happened, and there were some challenges that happened too. Some people were missing from their lounge and stuff like that. And it was for various reasons that took place, but we made sure that that was fixed. Now it's time for us to perform. Let's do what we know how to do, guys. You guys are, you caused this problem with 24,000 people. So now it's time for us to come together and do what we have to do in a timely fashion to make sure that they are properly placed so we can move forward, because some of y'all are about to make incomes that you've never, ever earned before in this industry, and we're going to do it the right way. So make sure that you get that done. So your upline will have to place you in the system first, and then your placement lounge will go live for you there. So make sure that you do that today, and place your people and help your team. Make sure you call down through the group and make sure that they have placed their team. So now, here's another deal. You heard on my message. We have extended the time just for a little while. We can't do this too much longer because we need to give you enough time, okay? We need to give you enough time to actually get your people in the system, inclusive of people who were registered this week. Anybody who registered this week, you may not see them in your holding tank today, but they probably will be in your holding tank tomorrow, because we had to get the people who registered first. We had to get them into the system first, and then bring the people that had just registered, who most recently registered into the system. We had to get them into the system next. So we had to get the first group first, and then bring on the newer people right after that. So make sure you understand, if you don't see it there, then you know why those people may not be showing up in your back office if they registered, especially if they registered this year. Okay, so draw out your group to do this. Here's a little bit of strategy. I'm going to shotgun here because I want to be as short as possible. Keep this information for you, because I want you to have, my goal in being the leader of the group here is to make sure that you have as much of an understanding of the compensation plan and how you need to build as possible. You will always get with your upline or your upline diamond or whoever that person may be that's leading you or that's working with you, so that they can have a specific plan for the way you're going. But here's something that everyone needs to know. As you're building out your binary, I want to make a reminder. Don't put all of your strong people on one side, because some of you all may have the ability to have a little bit of spillover. It doesn't happen for everybody. Don't depend on it. Your mindset should be, if I happen to get spillover, that's just cream icing on top of the cake. You're baking the cake. You build your two sides. I've always told Holton Buggs, listen, if somebody fall below me, great. If not, I'm going to build two sides anyway. I'm going to crush this thing. And I've always looked to flip if there was a stronger side that happened to fall or develop below me, I've always made it in the binary where my other side outdid the stronger side without making the strong side weak. I know I went out to learn how to build a business, and I never wanted, as long as I had to wait on somebody else to build a leg for me, it was not my business. It was their business. They had control of me. They had control of my income. And I'm not saying anything is wrong with people putting people there, and I'm not knocking that if that is a gift to you, but I am never going to put the hands of my life, of my future, of my family in the hands of someone else in regards to something like that when I can do that work myself. So have a mindset, whatever happens to fall, if that falls below you, that is just icing on the cake, because you were going to build it out with, like I trained a 2020 plan. That's a whole nother deal. But one important point that I want to make, you have to have, for the higher pin levels and the higher ranking, most likely starting at blue diamond. Some of y'all are going to get to diamond and want to go to blue diamond, and you're about to crush that right now. But you're going to have a 20% rule in the dual team, as well as what you have to do for your other volume requirements. Meaning that 20% of your business has to come from your strong leg as well. I keep it very simple. So you have to have at least 20% on both sides of your personal legs of business, meaning that stemming from people that you enroll, not just from what happened in the from any spillover, potential spillover, but the volume. In order for you to hit the higher rankings and your bonuses, you have to have production on both sides of your business from your personal legs of sponsorship. So make sure you have a good balance of business as you are structuring out your business, and you can make sure that you qualify or put yourself in the best position to qualify as possible. I never forget the previous binary that we did. I mean, I made millions and millions of dollars, of course. Some of y'all know the story. But it worked out. In the beginning, the way the rules that I'm talking about now wasn't told to me in the beginning. And I had a different mindset early on, 11, 12 years ago. And I was putting a bunch of people all on one side and didn't know that the rule was going to happen. I did have a little spillover, and it made me have to work years later much harder to get the higher bonuses, because the beginning of my sponsorship happened and I didn't get a chance to have a good balance. And so now some of y'all can have the balance that you need starting from day one, because you're hearing the information right now today. Another thing I want to quickly say is on the dual team qualification. Dual team qualification. Some people are asking, how do I get qualified? So you need to make sure that you have your $200 of volume, qualified volume, a personal volume in your center, meaning if you purchase a coach pack or higher, then that automatically qualified you for your position, and you must maintain your monthly fee. The other thing that takes place is you must sponsor one on your left somewhere and one on your right somewhere that you personally enroll who has done the same thing. They accumulated $200 of volume in their position at least one time on both sides, and they're maintaining their monthly auto ship. And guess what? You now have the qualifications of dual team qualified, meaning that you're maintaining your qualification, and at least two of your personally sponsored people are maintaining that as well. So I want to make sure you know what you need to do in terms of looking for, and we don't want to get into a whole lot of the qualifications of that as well. Now, here's another thing. The system is not calculating. I want you to ignore the numbers right now. We cannot calculate right now. So some of you all are seeing the numbers and you're worried about different things or whatever. Those numbers are not, don't get into that, because we cannot adjust any numbers until we get everybody positioned in the company. So it's okay. We're going to fix it. That's why my next announcement is, and some of you all know, we're going to extend the time for you to do this, okay? And I said it earlier, but we're going to extend the time for you to do this. So that means we have to extend the pay week. What that means, we can't calculate volume of people who are still in the placement lounge. And some of you all have many of your people still in the placement lounge all over the world. So we don't want, if we were to run the commissions today, you would not receive your accurate commissions. And I would rather for you to have a delayed commission that's correct than send you an early commissions that's wrong. And that's so we're going to double up your commissions this week. Starting this week's commission will be doubled with the next week's commission, because we needed to give many people like yourselves time to get you and your team placed so we can now do the proper accounting for the system. And all of those numbers then go correct. You can see your accurate amount of people on your left, the accurate amount of people on your right. We know who's all properly sponsored by one another, and we can accurately count the volume of business. It is very important to me, as well as the leadership and the executives, that you get your income, the right amount of income that you deserve for your hard work. So we're going to make sure we do that. There will be what we call a hard stop. So we will be announcing in the next day, 24, maybe 48 hours of exactly when the last day in will be. But if we can get this done right away, maybe we can move some things up. But if you do your job right now on your side, because we can't do it, you have to do it. This is where your leadership comes in. We need you to go in there and get that done for you. This is for you and your team and your families, to get those people properly positioned as soon as possible. So disregard the numbers now. We're going to take care of that. We're going to make the adjustments as soon as everyone is in the system, and we can properly account for the volume there as well. So make sure that we understand. I want to make sure that you all understood what was taking place, and that we did, and we made as little challenges as possible for you all to get this thing done and make it happen. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is pretty much what I wanted to cover here on this quick call. I was just doing it, and we're going to do a major campaign over the next 24 to 48 hours to make sure that that we do our job collectively to get your team enrolled into the system as soon as possible. And so if you're in and you're willing to help wherever you are, if you can send something here, just let me know. Just say, I'm in. I will do my part. I just need to know if the team is going to do their part. If you're going to do your part, let me know. I don't care if you send me a text message, if you send, I just need to know I can count on you. You are the leaders. This is my board. This is our board of directors. Your team is working around the clock to get it done. If you knew what our programmers were doing, you would be blown away. These guys have committed time, and they're not charging. They just want to be up, and they believe in this thing. But are you in? Can you help me with this? Get the word out. Text your leader. Say, I'm in. Let's get the job done. The company is counting on us. I'm counting on you. Let's make it happen. And also, as we're going to continue to build, let's make sure we support the calls that we're going to have throughout the week. Peter Hurst is coming up next, guys. Let's promote. You got a few more minutes to do that, but I need to know that you're in. If you're in, say, I'm in. I need to know who my leaders are. Guys, we're looking forward to creating history with you. We appreciate you. I hope that helped. And let's go out there and build it big. So we'll see you at the top. I'm gonna close it off for now. And I see some of you all in Cancun coming up in a few days. We'll see you out there as well. But let's get our job done first before we leave. All right, bye for now. That's what I want to share with you. See you guys at the top. I am in as well. Bye for now.